Welcome back to the WCS North America Challenger Edition, and I'm gonna summon a quick graphic here for you right now. Now.
Oh, you're going straight to that?
Yeah, I'm going straight to that. Here
Okay.
we are, and we are going to summon a quick graphic for you right over here. There it is. A little bit off. So players will be competing for the spot in WCS Challenger. 16 players will fight through the group stage. Only 8 players out of the 16 will advance onto the playoff bracket, where a winner, a single winner, will be crowned. Just the one.
But in each region.
In each region, so two, technically. Yeah. But we said America, there is the distinction.
Right, you're right.
And
Forgive me. Forgive me.
You are forgiven. There's more to it, though.
There is. There's money.
There's money on the way.
Yeah, these guys get paid. Fancy
Do you like money?
Sometimes.
Oh, that's so humble. You said you were about to say I love money. Well, the first place is gonna love $1,600 worth of money, whereas the second one will take $400 less. The third and fourth $800, fifth and eighth $600, and the rest of them just $400. Just $400.
That's
quite a lot of Chipotle or
ramen noodles,
whatever you want.
Yeah, you know, whatever your StarCraft player would spend $400 on, you know, for in their free time.
Skins,
yes, like buying war chest.
Many war chests.
Yeah, many war chests. Support the tournaments. Subscribe to the Pylon Show on Patreon, perhaps.
Oh, that would be that would be a fantastic investment. Yes.
Yes, indeed. This first match, take a look at our matches, guys. Show you guys what's going on. Cuddlebear versus Neeb going to be our first one.
Oh, that's spicy. But then we have the Doctor himself, TLO versus Epic.
Doctor is
that one's going to be epic, actually. It's number 2 and number 3 on the ladder. That one's going to be a hot match. Very excited for that one. Cuddlebear versus Neeb. Obviously, Neeb is the gigantic overdog. He's a Rottweiler against some sort of, I don't know, poodle, maybe.
Wow.
No, but his name is Cuddlebear.
Like
I mean, his name is Cuddlebear. What do you want? Do you want him to be a pit bull?
I mean, what? He's a big man, hairy chest.
Oh, Nathanias did
likes
say,
to cuddle. Yeah, you know, what's the problem here? I think Cuddlebear really does have a good fighting chance.
Yeah, but look at Neeb's picture. Does he look like a guy that would cuddle with you?
No, he looks like a guy.
He's gonna rip the chest with the hair right out of
just like Mortal Kombat fatality.
That's what he does. It's what he's been doing.
Spine out the back.
Yeah.
See if he'll be able to here up against Cuddlebear. He's got his bear mace loaded up.
Indeed. So let's jump into Acropolis. What is an Acropolis? Do you know?
I know what a necropolis is, right? Like Warcraft 3, like. But I have no idea.
I feel like an Acropolis is a little bit more of a. Don't put me on the spot like that, please.
What?
Spawning on the top left-hand side of the map, it is the red Protoss player, Neeb. Alexander Sunderheft. Or is it just Alex? Is it actually just Alex? Or is it... I
think it's just Alex, yeah.
Okay.
I think so. His opponent down here at the bottom right-hand side in the blue, he is Cuddlebear.
Also Alexander Sunderheft. Just kidding. Maximilian!
There it is.
That's a cool name.
Maximilian Rizdal.
Oh, I would love to see him versus Estrella to see who's
Battle
the
of the Maxes.
Yeah. All right. So Neeb is going to be scouting pretty fast here. Cuddlebear, obviously a rising player within the North American scene. And that's what we get a lot of when we go to the WCS North America Challenger, is people that are rising. And it's not like, you know, they came out of nowhere. They've been playing this game for years.
And you know, and Cuddlebear has made Challenger before, but hasn't ever gotten that big breakout performance that he's been wanting, right? Had a decent showing at the most recent Cheeseadelphia as well. Of course, this guy, Neeb, was the champion of that very same tournament. And Epic, one of the other people in this group, the one that got second place. So this group is really absolutely insane.
Yeah, and Epic in particular is the type of player that could create some upsets out of nowhere to many people watching. Cuddlebear is a very strong player. However, Neeb is such a tall mountain to climb. So we'll see what he can do. I hope that he takes a game. If he takes this serious, we shall go bananas.
Absolutely bananas here, as Neeb with the intelligent anti-Reaper placement on the with his buildings. A little bit weird to see Cuddlebear still go for the Reaper on this map, just with how difficult it is to get that scouting information when the jump up is blocked. A lot of the times you'll see players go for the Reaper first or go for the reactor added on a little bit sooner. but still going to be able to get some nice intel, be able to poke around at the front, and, you know, perhaps be able to slide in a little bit later on.
Yeah, we shall see, we shall see. The Reaper is just looking for probe and potential proxies out of the Thunderheft. It's not going to happen this time around, so...
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Maybe the Reaper should have just moved across the map, but who knows?
Yeah, you know, and as long as he keeps it alive, you know, always the potential to, you know, move in right as Neeb is sending out a couple units, you know, find his way in and get that late scout without having to invest the energy from his orbital.
Indeed. And the Reaper would have a tough time escaping, seeing as the Cyber Core is blocking the Reaper path, essentially.
Yeah, definitely a one-way trip if he does decide to make that. Twilight Council is going to be the call from Neeb. And yeah, this is almost as by the book as you can get from the Protoss. You know, you have the buildings placed at the front to allow him to wall in if he does see, you know, reactored Hellions coming out or something along those lines. Gives him that option. As well as going to have Blink, I imagine, going to be the choice here. And yeah, I mean, we've seen it.
Blink it is. Pretty safe choice. Pretty safe choice.
Yeah, very safe. Like, there's so little that Neeb has to worry about at this point, right? The Cyclone, I like this choice from Cuddlebear, especially if we see Magfield Accelerator come out with it as well. Gives it so much potency against the Stalkers on the ground.
Yeah, at the same time, Nathaniel was pointing out, this is not the best Blink map out there. So this is straight up a safe choice. I feel like Neeb wouldn't perhaps be making this choice against a Terran that he thinks is on equal grounds with him, right? Like, because there's so little aggressive potential that I feel like Cuddlebear could maybe make something happen out of this.
Yeah, I can see why you would want to not do it. I think, but I feel like Blink is just always good to have from the Protoss perspective here, right? Like I think it just gives him enough defensive capability.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just less value when you can only use it defensively or you know, less aggressive capabilities. So
yeah, that's very, very fair, very true. As
it's a spork, you know. That's what it is.
Command center getting added on here for Cuddlebear as that third base, of course, just went down. You saw a second ago for Neeb. And Double Forge behind this, so it's going to be a bit of a window for Cuddlebear if he's able to get a push going sometime in the next minute or two, you know, catch Neeb while he's investing that money elsewhere.
Yeah, he's pretty greedy so far, Neeb that is.
Very greedy.
This Liberator does have to watch out though, because Blink is going to be done by the time he starts showing up, and he needs to get in position before he is spotted. However, the Stalkers are sitting on the wrong side for this Liberator, and you might be thinking, why is the Liberator not moving? Well, he's probably waiting for something to happen, for attention to be diverted somewhere else, and then we're gonna see the Liberator liberate.
Exactly. We just wanted to make sure Neeb is looking somewhere else, removing the army, just trying to do something to distract it, and we see the Reaper be that tool.
Indeed.
And Liberator gets set up.
It worked.
Very nice.
Yeah, the Stalkers
just for a second.
Oh, wow, the Stalker's blinking out to the Liberator right away. No fear, we'll take it. Oh, no, Batmove is firing. What?
Okay.
Might have been able to take, well, definitely one Stalker, possibly two Stalkers, because the DPS is diminished as soon as you kill the first one. So a little bit sloppy by Cuddlebear going after the probes there. I mean, one Stalker is worth at least like 3 probes worth of cost, right? So
yeah, and now it's going to be Neeb freed up to move across the map. You know, cleaning up that Liberator, knows that at this point, you know, most likely isn't gonna be making a second Liberator. You know, we see the tech lab on that starport, getting himself out that Raven. And now these Wing-Stalkers moving up. 2 tanks in position, though, getting a great first shot.
Yeah, very good first shot is going to deter Neeb from moving up. Almost losing a Stalker, but not quite. So he's just going to be chilling for now. I mean, he got a very early third. He's got to be happy with that. Cuddlebear.
I don't think you can make that.
Taking the gases very early at his third. Very uncharacteristic of him. I think this is something that Destiny used to do a lot. As soon as he took an expansion, he would take the gases. And I'd be like, oh, man. Why are the gases taken?
Yeah, is that just to afford the 5 factory production we're about to be seeing?
Oh no, I mean the gases are fine, but clearly they're not efficient as it is, right? You want to finish as soon as, at least as soon as the CC is landing. So a little bit too early, maybe a little bit of nerves playing into this. Not a crucial mistake, but some mining time lost.
Yeah, little things like that can definitely add up, especially as you get to the higher levels of these games. And with the 1-1 finishing up here very soon for Neeb, he is on the warpath, marching through the center of the map. Already has Blink and Charge available. This is going to be a very potent push with no upgrades in the works for Cuddlebear. He's going to be very reliant on these tanks, and a great move with these supply depots going to limit the angles that these Zealots will be able to get in from.
Definitely. Only 3 gases for Neeb. So like you said, this is perhaps... Considering, you know, you look at the fast turn and you might be like, oh, Neeb's being so greedy. He was being pretty greedy, but then he cut it. He cut it pretty early, and now he's going. There's no probes in production. This is all in E by Neeb. He has to do some damage for sure.
Well, great target fire on the tanks. First 2 go down, still 2 on the bottom side of your screen. The Zealots taking up so many shots, no friendly fire, doing massive amounts of damage against this bile. The Stalkers in the back still taking almost no damage at all, and a beautiful push by Neeb.
Yeah, very well executed. Just a very strong push, like you said. I mean, he cut probes. He did what he had to do. That wasn't Neeb just, you know, pushing casually and winning. It was more like, hey, I took my economy really early on. I know how to capitalize on it. I'm going to saturate 3 bases, just 3 gases. Little transitions if he wasn't to do any damage. So very well done by him.
Yeah, really calculated play from him, right? You know, we saw him be completely aware of his damage output, aware of, you know, what Cuddlebear's options were as we went into the later stages of that game. You know, he was aware of the risk of that Liberator. Granted, was in a little bit off position, but, you know, still held that pretty well.
Then to Cuddlebear's credit, right? He distracted with the replay.
Right, yes, exactly. Yeah, Cuddlebear, you know, making good moves. So yeah, I definitely not out of this series. You know, for Cuddlebear, had a lot of good ideas in that. So yeah, I'm excited to see what he'll pull out here in game number 2. You know, after that first game trying to go standard, not working out. I want to see him do something crazy here. You know, I want to see like proxy.
Is he that type of crazy player though? I don't know that much about Cuddlebear.
Yeah,
to be honest. I've played him a little bit, but it's a different matchup.
He's you know, he's very consistent in the mid to late game. You know, I'm very impressed with his army movements and his decision making in that. I haven't seen him do too much early crazy stuff. Which does make me a little worried.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, that's the thing, is people think, oh, like, what if the best thing that a cheeser can do is macro? Well,
Yeah.
if you cheese every game, buddy, you don't know how to macro. That's just the thing, you know? Like,
Yeah.
if you only macro, then you're going to struggle with the cheese.
Exactly.
So, a very well-rounded player is obviously ideal, but
Right.
it is also a great time commitment, and they probably don't know all the nuances that a
Yeah,
exclusively
absolutely. And
cheesy
like
or
case
exclusively
in
macro
point,
player.
players like Printf, you know, have so much experience in cannon rushing. You know, they know every single opportunity, every single outcome. You know, it's like, oh, you have 3 roaches.
Yeah,
I know
mean,
exactly what
Printf's
I'm
weakness. Printf's biggest weakness is that you know who he is. Right?
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
So I mean, if Printf was to play incognito against someone, and he pretended to be, I don't know, Stats, who never does stuff like that, I wouldn't doubt that Printf could upset some big names.
Absolutely.
Just on the back of, you know, knowing his craft.
Why haven't we seen him in one of the Foreign House's anonymous tournaments? I feel like that'd be great.
Yeah.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, I think that would be cool. That's a good idea.
Let's see what this guy will get done up in the top left-hand side, looking to secure his spot as the favorite in this entire tournament. He is King's Neeb.
Oh, I don't want to say the least favorite, but definitely one of the bigger underdogs. And one of my favorite names, as I like to cuddle, and I'm a fan of bears.
Yeah.
So we have on the bottom right-hand side of the map, Cuddlebear. Okay.
All right. Yeah.
All right. Maximilian.
Maximilian.
Great name.
Really is a great
Very
name.
good names in North America, if nothing else.
It really is, yeah. Great names, maybe a little bit crazier games.
Mm-hmm. I mean, some of these games in the North American Challenger have been amazing. Like you know, you
so
hear
good.
people like. You hear people talk about North America and how crazy it is, and sometimes I'm like, oh man, these players are actually pretty good, and they are.
Yeah.
They are pretty good.
I
But they're
find
also bad shit. Oops.
I love it. I love how these, like, especially players like Future, right? Like, he will occasionally have these tournaments, and it's like, oh my God, Future is one of the best foreigners around right now. He is wrecking shop, and then other times it's like, click the Nexus, dude. What's going on?
Yeah. I mean, that was a big blunder. I'm sure he knows.
Oh, yeah, no,
stuff like that is not. You know, this is also a stage, and to many of these players that are just rising, it's gonna be it's a little bit. The nerves do play in, right? Like
Absolutely.
Cuddlebear, is not used to this kind of thing. I mean,
Right.
he's been in Challenger before, sure, but he's been in Challenger once. I've been a new player rising at some point, like 15 years ago, and it was
15.
nerve-wracking. You know, so they're not gonna play always their best. Whereas Neeb is very experienced. This is not the biggest stage that he's been in by any
yeah,
means.
no,
Not
this
by a
is
long
another day in the office for Neeb. Yeah, and obviously much easier to criticize from the omniscient point of view. You know, hindsight's 20/20 and all that.
Yes.
As these guys, of course, putting their heart and soul into preparing for this. So Reaper is able to get up here, and the Stalker a bit late. So,
Yeah.
ooh,
Oh!
ooh, I don't know how
Very
that thing gets
slippery,
rounded.
man.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, Neeb thought he had it too.
Yeah, I would have thought he did too.
Yeah, the Reaper's doing a very good job. He has to
Not even
identify
yet.
those
Okay,
probes
there we go.
before they regen their shield. They're regening a lot of shields. At the same time, Cuddlebear stopping there for a second to do things back at home, but he's getting insane damage out of this Reaper.
There we go. 2 going down. Now the Adept arriving on the other side. Not going to be able to do a ton with this bunker. The micro.
No, low to the
potential.
bunker!
Oh, okay.
There's a CC and a bunker, so there's a lot of micro potential, like you said. The Reaper will get a little bit more done as Neeb is trailing 100 resources behind. In the early game, more significant, right? Like the earlier it is, the greater 200 resources represents out of your economy, right? Like 2 more probes, well, that's a lot. If you only have 10 probes, just to make an example out of it, then that's 20% of your economy gone.
Right, exactly. And it can really adds up in these early games, especially with how tight these timings can be. You know, we saw in that last game, Neeb arriving on the other side of the map right as his 1-1 is finished. You know, if that push is delayed another, 15, 20 seconds, it can add up.
Indeed.
As the Shade just keeping an eye on everything going on here in Cuddlebear's base. Starport just about finished up, and yeah, Cuddlebear setting up for, again, a pretty standard looking composition, right? Tank production going to be continuing here, getting a medevac as well. And a Liberator second, a little bit unusual, but going to allow him for that harassment we saw him attempt in the last game.
Yeah, things are looking up for Cuddlebear so far. Hoping for a good follow-up. The Observer will make its way to the natural and will spot everything that is going on.
All right, Reaper coming back home as well as trying to just lock in that Adept and will. Very
beautiful
nice.
job.
Very nice pickup here as Cuddlebear is on the march with this tank. Medevac not quite with this, and
The
a few
SCVs, don't show the SCVs. The Neeb see the SCVs. That's my.
That is.
Do not show the SCVs.
I don't. Okay, shield battery going up.
Yeah, those SCVs are going to be trying to make some bunkers, but if the Marines are depleted before that, that's going to be an issue. The Reaper has finally lost a hero, no doubt.
Yeah, this is such a sick move by Neeb, contesting this with the Stalkers so far in advance. Now the Probe's getting directly on top of this.
Yeah.
Oh, and the Stalkers
a lot
as
of
well.
damage
This
being
is so
done
nice.
though, and the repair is fantastic here, and the Marines in the back, they just need to focus the probes. This is brilliant by Cuddlebear. He's doing it!
Wow, very nice push here. Now with the Liberator set
the
up,
Immortal.
this makes
He's
it
a
so
powerful.
hard to push. That Immortal.
No, focus the Liberator.
Okay, took out the tank. Shield battery keeping it alive. 10 probes went down in that time, but it's still a 2-worker lead for the Red Protoss.
Yeah, but he's kind of giving up some SCVs for no reason. This bunker does need to be cancelled, I think, at this point. The Liberator is in a good position, but there's little to no reinforcements coming up. Now, that's 2 Stalkers that can potentially take down that Liberator. I mean, it's going to offer some firepower for the Marines in the meanwhile.
Yeah, it's really just trying to restrict the areas where Neeb can stand here. Now that Stalker on the right-hand side, taking quite a bit of damage for his second tank.
Oh, the Immortal walking into the Liberation Zone.
Oh, so scary.
Many.
Okay, now the Pro's getting pulled with this. Stalker's moving up, trying to target down that Liberator. The tank getting a great shot off on the Immortal, and it does go down. Now this Probe's getting this around on the
These
low
Marines
ground.
are so important. The Marines need to be microed back so that they kill the probes. The tank can get surrounded and serve as a shield, essentially, for the Marines if they are killing probes. The medevac also a little bit sloppy. All in all, pretty good by Cuddlebear, but Neeb is Neeb. So he is playing as expected, handling this very well, and man, that looked very scary.
No.
Oh no. Oh, my heart.
Yeah, that is that's very bad for the continued push here of Cuddlebear. Adding on 4 barracks on the backside, trying to add on another command center as well.
And in spite of all the probes pulled and whatnot, Neeb is still ahead. He's been, he's been producing non-stop, I guess. Maybe Chrono Boosting, even allocating some Chrono Boost there. I think that Cuddlebear had a few openings, and you really need to capitalize on those when you're playing against a player of the caliber of Neeb, right? Like that,
absolutely.
You need to focus fire that Immortal over the Stalker. He's the threat to your tank, right? Like he would have died earlier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Need to micro those Marines back. And these are not giant mistakes. It's just mistakes that you cannot afford to make against a world caliber player.
Right, exactly. You know, those Marines, they're able to stay alive, like you were saying. Just not quite panning out there in that last fight, as Gravitic Drive is done for the Warp Prism and a Disruptor out. It's going to allow for those Warp Prism drops here very soon, or Disruptor drops more accurately. As Gateway is starting to get on here, Neeb working ever closer to that magic 8 Gateway number as he adds on a Forge as well. And on the other side, it's matching up, still staying just about as by the book as you can get here from Cuddlebear. Stim, Combat Shields, and +1. Going to be timing out with a nice tank push right around the time this third base. You know, his third base is going to be wanting to get secured. But Neeb already has his third Nexus finished up here, maintaining that worker lead, and now going to be able to even extend it here a bit, as Thermal Lances is starting up as well. I mean, Neeb looking very comfortable, and really I think, you know, it's just as long as he doesn't disrespect the push coming from Cuddlebear here, the one that, you know, this bio that he's setting up for, I'm liking Neeb's spot.
Oh, most certainly. I mean, the third for Cuddlebear isn't particularly late either. He's trailing a little bit behind. This is definitely a winnable game still.
3 go down.
3 go down. Not that bad.
Yeah, good response there, pulling some SCVs towards him. Liberator waiting in vision, just outside of there.
Unfortunately. So, yeah, Neeb is well aware about where the Liberator is, and he is expecting a second Liberator potentially, so he has Stalkers ready. No! Oh, no! Okay, that's not so bad. Just like 5 Marines, it could have been much worse. The Liberator will move in at the same time, so nice heads-up play by Cuddlebear, but Neeb is Neeb.
Yeah, one step ahead, and that Liberator was getting contested its entire way into that main base. Thermal Lances ever closer to finishing up here as the second Colossus about to pop out here.
Yeah, and you gotta respect and love moves like that by Cuddlebear, right? Like in the face of danger, like this. Oh. Okay. In the face of danger like that, instead of splitting right away, he chose to make the move with the Liberator, then save his units, right?
Right.
And that was a very heads-up play. Neeb still reacting fast enough, and now getting a lot of value out of this Liberator. The Colossus is here now, and yeah, this is nice. These are good ideas by Cuddlebear. He's going for the counterattack. He's saying, "I know where your
that Colossus in the center." Oh, directly into the drop.
Stim. Okay.
Kill the Colossus. All right, very nicely done.
All right, and moves into the third. The mines are going to serve as somewhat of a shield for this army should there be units ready to move. And also this trouble. Oh, that would have been so great if he didn't burrow that mine. If he didn't burrow that mine, that would have been a great play. He, you know, that was an accident for him, not burrowing the mine. But sometimes happy accidents happen. If you can capitalize on those, identify them, then that's fantastic.
Oh,
Tries to go after the Disruptor, but a few units die, and the DPS is just not simply enough. Ends up losing all of it.
Yeah.
He takes a 4th base.
Great cleanup here for Neeb. Like you said, great thoughts for Cuddlebear. Great, you know, it's the right ideas, right? The broad strokes are there, and then Neeb is just a little bit too good, right? A little bit too on top of things, responding to things. That Liberator also being in vision, of course, playing a role in that as well. Now it's +2 weapons on the way for our red Protoss, and that armor upgrade as looking to equalize with Cuddlebear here.
This should be
a good job with that.
The blink is now done. This is looking very, very good for Neeb. Oh no.
Ooh, 7. 56 to 67. That
what's the kill count on the ball?
Are we able to see?
Are we able to see?
I think
he's got to drop it.
Unloaded. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a Viking, I think, hunting down for that Warp Prism.
Well,
trying to.
See. How many kills do you think it has?
Type
how many kills it has in chat right now. We'll see who's right. And you also, Beck, you also should guess. Don't try to escape this.
Oh no, there's I'm gonna say that, you know, 22 kills.
Ooh, I'm gonna say 21.
Oh, you're gonna Price is Right me? Okay, okay. I see you. How many kills? How many kills? 30. Oh my goodness. Wow. That's absurd.
Yeah, I guess you won. The Price is Right. 30 is absurd indeed. So that Disruptor has done a good job.
Yes, it is.
And if it wasn't for those 30 kills, I mean, imagine the supply right now.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we would see Cuddlebear. I mean, imagine that's, you know, how many more tanks would that be? How much more bio would that be as well? Not even considering all the work. Yeah, you're right. It would be the same amount of tanks. Some bio moving forward here. Stalkers not going to be able to do too much, and now it's Cuddlebear with the inside line on this Nexus, and it's going to be taking quite a bit of hits.
Yeah, very good positioning by Cuddlebear. I mean, this is going to be very difficult to break once the tanks are already sieged and onto the high ground for the most part.
Yeah, with no charge available just yet for Neeb.
I mean, he's got to be really careful. Yeah, the Colossus not quite shooting, so this was actually pretty decent of a trade for Cuddlebear, but it could have been much worse. He's kind of overstimmed. Oh no, the Liberators!
Yeah, losing so many Vikings and Liberators there on the back end of that fight. Main army of Cuddlebear finally returning home. And yeah, I mean, that was the risk of about to go into, you know, if he just doesn't overstay there, backs off, continues getting closer to his 2-2, adds on more of this bio. Yep. You know, that was a very good start to him. Oh my goodness!
Not too bad there, but yeah, the big issue that he's facing is he's producing Liberators nonstop, and obviously a few of them have run into the Stalkers, but that makes it so that he doesn't have there's 4 Liberators in production, only 2 medevacs, and all of his army is hurt.
Right.
So he really needs more medevacs. He's out of heals there, right? Like the medics are definitely complaining for some help here.
Yeah, they need more supplies, more energy here. And for the time being, they are not going to get it. Government cuts really hurting the back end of Cuddlebear's army here.
They sure are. Need the Doctors Without Borders to step in.
Seriously, this is getting dire for some of this bio. Getting lower and lower by the second. Is +3 on the way for Neeb.
Most of his bio will be healed up for the most part. But oh no, don't lose the one of the 33% of your medevacs. That would be...
Yeah, not what you need. As the 4th base was able to get back up for Neeb at the other base location and now has a 5th Nexus on the way as well. This man has a ridiculous economy.
He sure does. Researching Storm, adding another starport. He's preparing to go for the later game, even a little bit of a tech switch. The Colossi can become a little bit redundant, start running into each other, right? Like they kind of do the same thing all over and over. So you kind of want to mix it up as you scale up. There is such a thing as too much overlap of the same units.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, Storm's such a powerful tool, also against these Liberators as well. You know, if they're too clumped up. Gives him some nice tools to help supplement these Stargate units that'll be coming out here somewhat soon. The 2nd Stargate, I believe, is finishing up now.
Indeed. Very good liberation.
Yeah, great setup here. Big blink. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, big stim as well, though. And he didn't need to stim all of it, right? Like he could have stimmed maybe like half of his army to chase after those Stalkers. Because a lot of his army was never going to shoot. And you're not going to chase that into the Colossus anyway.
Yeah, and now it's such an awkward spot with him not having any medevacs with energy right now. He still just has those 2 with no energy. He's still making 4 Liberators at a time, and the Liberators are very nice, don't get me wrong, but if he doesn't have any bio below it...
Go for this flank, so he's going to push the units back into the other half of his army. Or
beautiful storms.
Less than a half. But yeah, I think this is going to be the cleanup that Neeb is looking for. And it might prove too much. I mean, the supplies are still kind of even. The Liberators are still sieging, but the Colossus remain. Those are the expensive, important units.
And packing such a punch right now with that +3 attack done as well. There is a Warp Prism somewhere. Or no, actually it did die. So not a Warp Prism anywhere. So no reinforcements for this army. Great drop by Cuddlebear here.
Very nice.
On the backside of this.
The Nexus, but at the same time there's a lot of Nexi.
Yeah, and Neeb continuing to push on the other side as well, forcing Cuddlebear to respond to this heads up. The Archons getting directly underneath these Liberators, starting to take them down as Neeb is pushing forward, looking to secure his spot in that winner's match.
And he shall.
And he shall. GG, well played, good luck, as Neeb secures the series.
Indeed. So yeah, pretty good efforts by Cuddlebear. I feel like the nerfs do play in, and also when you're playing a player as good as Neeb, he forces mistakes out of you, right? Like it's very difficult to keep up with the likes of Neeb. But Cuddlebear, some good ideas, some good thoughts. I think he could upset someone, maybe.
Absolutely, his
Epic
TvT,
or TLO perhaps.
His TvT is very, very good. So I think for him, he's wanting TLO to win this next set. He wants to face Epic in the lower. At least from what I've seen, it's very possible he's more confident in his TVZ. I don't know, but I've been very impressed with his TvT. But yeah, that does it for our first series, guys. We are next up going to be going into our next match. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, we are definitely going into our next match.
Yeah, you're looking forward to this one, huh? Get to see your boy, TLO.
Also, yes, very much.
Yeah, taking on Epic.
That should be great. So stick around.
Yeah, guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more awesome North American StarCraft action.